If you're feeling dizzy, even when you're barely moving, whether you're sitting or standing or just really gently moving, then this video is for you. Because one of the most confusing parts of persistent dizziness is, why does it keep happening, even when I'm not really doing anything? And what I want to show you today is that there's actually a really clear reason for that. So before anything else, here's what I need you to know. Your brain isn't broken. It's actually trying very hard to protect you, but it's working with information that made sense at the time and just hasn't updated yet. So one of the biggest questions I hear is, why does this keep happening when I'm not doing anything or barely doing much? And for many people, there was an earlier trigger. It might have been an inner ear issue, a vestibular migraine, a virus, or even the sea legs, feeling after getting off a long boat trip. And just to be really clear, this can show up across different diagnoses like PPPD, persistent postural perceptual dizziness, or vestibular migraine, or Mulder-Debarkment syndrome, MdDS, each with its own starting point. But what we're focusing on here is the pattern that can develop alongside them. So because after that initial phase, your brain can stay on alert, and that pattern can continue even when your body is safe. So let's make sense of this for a moment. Your brain isn't just reacting to what's happening around you, it's constantly predicting what happened, what's going to happen next. So it uses the past experiences to create expectations. So it's always asking, what do I expect to feel right now? So when everything's just working along well, your brain predicts that you're still when you're sitting in a chair, and your body confirms that. Then everything matches. So you feel steady, but after a period of dizziness, then your brain can start to doubt those signals. So it builds a new expectation that says movement might happen even when I'm still. And because your brain is always trying to keep you safe, it starts predicting that movement. So even before anything actually happens. So instead of simply responding to your body, it becomes more focused on its own expectation. And that's when the sensation can show up, even when you're sitting still. So this is something that we see across many persistent dizziness conditions, different starting points, but often that very similar pattern. And a really helpful way to understand this is called the broken escalator effect, right? So you might have experienced this before. You step onto an escalator that isn't moving. It's already broken down and the escalator isn't moving. And even though you can see that it's still, your body has a moment where it feels off balance, almost like a jolt. And that happens because your brain expected movement. It prepared for it. And when that movement then didn't happen, there was a mismatch. The body was fine, but the prediction was off. Now imagine that happening more often. Your brain starts expecting instability, even when you're safe and still. So the sensation feels real, because it is real, but it's coming from a system that's trying to protect you by staying one step ahead. So the most important thing to take away from this is your symptoms are real, but they're being driven by expectation, not ongoing damage in the body. And that means that this can change, because if your brain has learned this pattern, it can also learn something new. And it often does, right? So the next time that you notice that feeling, you might just pause for a moment and gently remind yourself, my brain is making a prediction right now, but I'm actually safe and still. Not to force anything, not to make it go away, just to begin shifting that pattern over time, because you're not stuck. Your system is adaptable. It can change. And with the right approach, it can learn something new. So if this resonates, you can check out the free resources on my webpage, dizzyresolve.com, or they're in the links below. And if you've noticed that your symptoms seem to get worse in busy places, supermarkets, or when there's a lot going on visually, that's exactly what I'll walk you through in the next video. You can watch that here. So I'll see you there.